A warning for you. Warning, warning. Use it or lose it. The parable of the talents. Matthew chapter 25, read by Bible Gateway.
For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time the Lord of those servants cometh, and reckoneth with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliveredst unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliveredst unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Wow. What did you think about that parable, that story of Jesus that he told to teach us a lesson? We are warned to use it or lose it. There are certain things that Jesus has given us. What are the things that Jesus has left us, that he's left for you? Opportunities, promises, lots of abilities, lots of things that Jesus has left us. We have received them according to our abilities. What are we doing with those things? One day Jesus is going to come back and he's going to count how we've used those things that he has left in our hands. Opportunities. Maybe you have a good brain and you can think really, really good, and you know how to read, and you have opportunity to read the Bible online or in your actual Bible that you can hold in your hands, that you know the truth that God's given you and promises. One day Jesus is going to come back and he's going to account for those, and he's going to count how you use them. And so will you get green check marks? Will you have used all your opportunities? You see, you can only use 1 at the time. And then the guy with 2 talents, he just had 2. He didn't have 5. He could only use what God had given him. And that's the same way with you. God's not going to ask you to use something that he hasn't given you. And so use the promises God has given you, the abilities God has given you. Use them. Because if you don't, when he comes back and you haven't used the opportunities and the abilities that God has given you, then he's going to say, take it all away. And that's not what we want to hear. We want to hear, well done, enter into the joy of the Lord. And so use the abilities God has given you. God expects you to use what he has given you. So use it. And then when Jesus comes back, he will hear of you and he will say of you, well done, enter into the joy of the Lord. And so our warning today with the parable is use it or lose it. So use the things God has given you. Now, also, we can recognize that we need to put Jesus' words into action and just choose one thing that God has given you, one opportunity, one thing that you recognize as a gift from God. You see, everything we have is a gift from God. All good things come from God, and He gives gifts unto men. And so God has given us each one gifts, differing gifts according to our abilities. And so choose one thing God has given you and use that thing to show how valuable you think that thing is and how valuable you think God is by what He gave you. Plan an activity, tell someone, ask for help at getting better at whatever that one thing is that you're choosing. And then when you get good with that one thing and you've profited from it, choose something else that God has given you and get good with that and profit from it. Don't let what God has given you be taken away from you, but instead use it. So that's the parable of the talents. So let us be warned, use it, don't lose it.